torching everything in its path. Homes, wealth, and legacy burned in one night. But will Altadena rise from the ashes? I'm James Farr. On the Conversation Live Altadena Rising, we're chronicling the recovery, the resilience, and justice for the nation. This is the show of record, unapologetically progressive. We're not blacking down. So join me, James Farr, on the Conversation Live Altadena Rising every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific with the rebroadcast on Sunday at noon.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
The thing that we have to recognize, of course, is that the relationship between men and women, or between a man and a woman, is not an isolated situation. That the way you love one another, the way you love your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husbands, your wives, your children, is rooted in a political, social system. Love, it just does not flow out of your heart, and it's just not natural like we tend to think of it as being. It is influenced by your own experience as an individual, as well as by your experience as a people. One of the reasons why I wrote the book, The Developmental Psychology of the Black Child, is the fact that I wanted to bring to people's attention that you just couldn't read a standard book on developmental psychology and apply what was found in that book to the black child. Because black people have a unique history. It is the history of the black child is not the history of the white child. The history of the black parent is not the history of the white parent. The political, social position that black people are in this country is not the political, social position of whites. The psychology of black people flows from the history and experience of black people. If you went into a psychologist's office, he would want or she would want to know your own personal history. because it is only through understanding your personal history as an individual that your behavior can be understood. A psychologist or psychiatrist could not take the history of another individual and just apply it to you and say, well, I know this other person very well, so therefore you must behave this way too. And the values they have and the ideas they have must be the same you have. The only difference between you and this other person is that they have a different color from you. That is not the way psychology is built, ladies and gentlemen. You can only be understood as an individual in terms of your own history and experience. When we talk about then the psychology of black people, we must understand that psychology in terms of the experience of our people. You cannot go and get a psychology from another people whose history and experience has been different and just impose it upon yourself. You will create problems. And therefore,
Wow. Oh, Dr. Amos Wilson. Y'all know he don't play no reindeer games with this information. I had to put this out. He said something that was very powerful. And couched in what he said, it gave explanation to why I say you can't understand the heights of love. He says your idea of love is coming from your experience. He was a psychologist, right? And he was explaining your experience is the translator of your reality. Listen, that in and of itself creates the condition, right? This is why if you didn't get this, if you didn't get that, if you wasn't treated this way, that's your story. Then he went even further to say, man, white civilization or society got all of its information from black civilization or society. Now, look at it from this perspective. That is, blacks before slavery. We were the ones who thought about God first, who thought about philosophy first, who thought about psychology first, who thought about mathematics first, who thought about writing first, we are the originators of all of this. And we educated Greece and Rome and everywhere else. We educated the world. Yes, all them people were black. You know that. Come on now. You don't have to agree. It's fine. This, just do the research. You'll see. But then you have black people after slavery who find their meaning and their identity, right, through their oppressors' institutions and systems. Oh, my goodness. This is about to get really deep. Why? Why is this important? This is going to tie into yesterday's show about shame. I had to do yesterday's show to set you up for this one. So I'm in a conversation with a sister who's been an acquaintance of mine for over 10, 15 years. She's been following the show for that long. And she said something that just blew my mind away. I guess she was commenting on a clip that was shared or something of that sort. If some kind of clip, either I shared it with her or she shared it with me, but it was a terrible clip, and I'm not playing it here. But we have other clips that illustrate the ideas that were present there. But the sister's response was, she said, men, she was speaking specifically of brothers. She said, men have become so weak that we have forgotten how to shame our women back into submission. So this is why yesterday's show was talking about how do you take shame, which vibrates at 20 hertz, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins. How do you take that and transmute it, alchemize it into a catalyst for expansion, for growth? And when she was talking to me, it felt like the shame that your parent may put on you, right, in order to try to motivate you. But at the same time, I thought it was wild. I thought it was a wild statement, period. But it was even more wild because it was coming from a sister. I was like, what? You believe that? And she was like, yeah. She said, men are so soft now that they have forgotten how to shame us into submission. I said, I must bring this before the radio council. I need your perspective. I sent it to Attila. Attila, one thing about Attila, this is a true Taurus right here. Attila went immediately into what? No. Hold on, Attila. Let's dissect it. No, she wrong. She trying to escape something. She got a responsibility here, and she try. I said, hold on. Let's unpack it all the way, Attila. Attila went to war immediately, and so we wound up turning this into two topics. I said, first, we need to understand the consciousness level of shame. Right? We need to understand what shame is, because I've had people on my show before that said we got to start shaming our kids again because we were raised up better when we had a sense of shame. Like, you're going to bring shame on the family. But shame, guilt, these are all very low vibrational levels of consciousness. And my question was, can they be alchemized to raise up, right, by way of shame? And I was like, wow, that's a heavy question. But for her to say men are soft and are afraid to shame us out of particular behaviors. And I think she was making reference to the Sexy Reds, the Glorillas, Meg Thee Stallion was just on the carpet, on the Oscars carpet with everything out, with just pasties. Even some sisters, pulled back. So I thought it was very interesting. Tonight's topic, have men become too soft to shame women into submission? Oh my goodness. Beneath TikTok's trad wife cosplay and corporate feminism's cortisol hustle lies a quantum truth. Gendered shame mutates mitochondrial DNA into compliance. White woman's tears weaponize Fanon's racial trauma at 20 hertz, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins. Entangling black wombs, according to Queen Afua, in holographic self-sabotage. Oh my God. Men's perceived softness. The biohack dominance via AI's porn dopamine tsunamis, their atrophied insulas breeding Dr. Ramani's narcissistic specters. What about Christianity's submit doctrine? Al-Sudurf shrinks amygdala into Schiraldi's PTSD husks, while BDSM's safe words gaslight Karn's betrayal bonds as healing. I want to know if you're experiencing this low consciousness level of relating that many people seem to be pretty comfortable with. We already know what is toxic, right? That if you were brought up in a toxic environment, that becomes your norm, right? That becomes your familiar. You'd rather have that than nothing at all, right? When nothing actually represents freedom. But I won't get into that right now. What about the dark triads, 75 hertz frequencies of Machiavellianism sinking into incels with unintegrated Liliths in Campbell's simulation, where Kalima's rage, once sold as Lululemon transcendence, detonates biophotonic rebellions to survive? Humanity must dimethylate Deida's feminine fuel. Listen, have you ever read David Deida's work? The Way of the Superior Man? What is feminine fuel? He's talking about this. This is a very heavy thing. To survive, humanity must dimethylate Deida's feminine fuel dependency. Burn Stepford wife scripts with Hawking's radiation. And let black women's natural hair cortisol drop, fracture the hologram. Come on. Are we going to choose chains or cosmic annihilation? I'm very interested to see, are there women out there that are performing submission for security? And are there men out there who are trying to run themselves into the ground in order to conquer the world so that they don't have to conquer themselves? Because if you got women that are willing to perform, right, submission, trad wife, if they're willing to do that, willing to be shamed in exchange for security, is this a match made in heaven? I'm really interested to know. AI-driven gender lobotomies, how TikTok's trad wife trends rewires women's DNA into 1950s subservience. Question. Do viral trad wives, right, do these reels operantly condition, this is B.F. Skinner's work, women's oxytocin receptors, right, to crave shame-based compliance? Wow. To claim shame-based compliance. Ladies, I need you to talk to me tonight. Where's the line for abuse? Do you see being shamed as a form of abuse? But would you tolerate it for a certain level of security? In your spirit, you know, I don't agree with this man's leadership. I don't agree with his character. I don't agree with the fact that he thinks conquering the world is conquering his soul. Ooh. Are you a performative Stepford wife? I want to know. Are you a performative fembot? You remember the fembots on the $6 Million Man? I'm sorry. That's a terrible reference. There's so many young kids out there that have never heard of the $6 Million Man. I have to ask the question. I have to ask this question. The sister said to me, we've lost our ability to shame our women into compliance. What woman out there agrees with her? I would like to know. Dark feminine burnout. Corporate feminism, cortisol addiction, masked as empowerment. Oh my goodness. When we come forward, we're going to get even deeper. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's ROCK to 42424.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Spending every moment in the studio. I never said it'd be fair, but when you're all alone, I hope you truly know how bad I want to be there. Come right in, set your bag down. Took a night off for you. Go ahead and turn the lights off, but keep your heels on. They're fitting for what I'm about to do. No, you hate explaining how you want it done. Just be quiet, I'll do fine without your help, girl. And you work without a second for some fun. Now you finally got a moment to yourself, girl. And I know what to do with it. I know what to do with it. I know what to do with it.
Now, first of all, I don't know what love is. I don't know what love is. But I do know that I'm jealous. I do know that I am terribly attached to her. And in that attachment, there's fear, there's jealousy, there's anxiety, there is sense of dependency. I don't like to depend, but I depend. Because I'm lonely and I'm shoved around by society all over in the office, in the factory. And I come home, I want to feel comfort, companionship, escape from myself. So I'm dependent, attached to that person. Now, how am I, I'm asking myself, how am I to be free of this attachment?
Man, Krishnamurti. He's describing so much of what's happening right now. That was in the 70s he was talking back then. That lady told me out of her mouth, men are soft. Today's men are soft. She said, we've lost our ability to shame us. I was like, wow. It reminded me of the show where I said, you can't do your partner can't do your parents' unfinished work on you. And it was like, were you shamed? If you need him to shame you to get you right, was that the preferred method that your parent used? I was just blown away. There's a woman out there who believes this. And I believe, because I had another woman tell me directly, men are vulnerable to the niceties of women. Meaning, if a woman is catering and kind and nurturing, she said most men don't look beyond the action of that. She said the intent might not be she might not be doing it for good intention. She might be doing it to manipulate you. And because you probably didn't get what she's giving you, you're totally blindsided by her performative, cognitive kindness. Do you see? That's what this TikTok trad wife thing is all about. Dark feminine burnout, corporate feminism, cortisol addiction, masked as empowerment. Question: does leaning into girl boss culture mutate mitochondria DNA, according to Bill Lipton, to crave cortisol spikes, turning Susan's Blackamoor's meme verses into Eric Fromm's Escape from Freedom? Here's the insight. Black women rejecting strong black women tropes, according to Queen Afua, shows 41% lower cortisol, proving resilience requires systematic betrayal. Look at that. If that's what she's living in, why wouldn't she perform niceness? Why wouldn't she be more tolerant of receiving shame from a man who could provide and protect her? Shame-based motivation. Oh, this is ugly. Are y'all ready for tonight's? I don't know if you're ready for tonight's. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact that this thought was given to me by a woman really revealed kind of my own blind side. I didn't know that there are women out there that are okay with this. Do men need to continue shaming women in order to bring them back under subjection? Is fear of equality the result of misguided dominion over self? Do women require leadership from men because they refuse to and or cannot lead themselves? Is this a form of codependency via self-responsibility shirking? I don't want to do the inner work. I want the soft life. I don't want to have to go in and write a forgiveness letter to my mom or my father or my uncle or my aunt. I don't want to have to do any self-reflection. So if I have a man that can protect me from all of that so I can live softly, is this self-responsibility shirking? When we come forward, the phone line's already percolating. We all over the country. You know you want to get involved. 1-800-920-1580. Let's talk.
I've been waiting for so long to get you all alone. Now I finally got you right here. So baby, I'ma lock my door and disconnect my phone.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A judge found the Trump administration unlawfully dismissed federal employees and ordered their reinstatement, rejecting the government's justification. He ruled the Office of Personnel Management lacked the power to enforce the directive. Black Texas Rep. Al Green's outburst during President Trump's speech resulted in a censor and now an election opponent. Analysts say he remains the front runner as defeating incumbents is difficult. Myra Guillen, sister of slain Army specialist Vanessa Guillen, has entered the race. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is naming 2025 Fire Prevention Year to mark a century of National Fire Prevention Week. The FDNY will target fire safety efforts on 100 high-risk areas. And Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown is joining 20 states suing President Trump over plans to dismantle the Education Department. Brown, who is black, warns it will cut resources, harm students with disabilities, and widen education gaps. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
We've got a lot to talk about.
On January 7th, 2025, the Eaton Canyon Fire scorched Altadena, torching everything in its path. Homes, wealth, and legacy burned in one night. But will Altadena rise from the ashes? I'm James Farr. On the Conversation Live Altadena Rising, we're chronicling the recovery, the resilience, and justice for the nation. This is the show of record, unapologetically progressive. We're not blacking down. So join me, James Farr, on the Conversation Live Altadena Rising every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific with the rebroadcast on Sunday at noon.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha, Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm tryna put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Really point to just to hurt you. All red lamb just to tease you. None of these toys on lease to. Made your whole year in a week too. Yeah, never kill any pain. Look what you done.
So how do you know if you're being codependent or if someone in your life is getting all codependent on you? Let's talk about some signs. These are some things I've noticed codependent people do, all right? Codependent people second guess themselves. When they feel like they've been mistreated, a little loop kicks in and makes them distort what they're seeing. And so instead of thinking, you know what, I don't accept this, they instead think, that person needs to change so that I don't feel hurt. And instead of accepting other people, and accepting, by the way, it doesn't mean that you condone bad behavior. Accepting people just means you see things how they are and you realize that's how they are. And you don't put all your effort into trying to make other people be different. You accept that's how they are. So instead of setting a boundary, walking away from people who you accept do not meet your standards, then you end up holding on tighter or maybe even like seizing on that person. Because leaving, for a lot of people with PTSD, it doesn't feel like an option. That abandonment wound makes leaving a relationship feel like, one step lighter than death, just very hard to do. And so a codependent will end up pushing and pushing and pushing to convince the other person, you have to change, you must change what you're doing. They don't think that's what they're doing, of course. They think that what they're doing is, encouraging, helping, right? And if the other person doesn't want to change or be helped, then the codependent increases the pressure. Again, they don't leave, but they stay, and the pressure starts to go up, and it can come out at the extremes of like shame and threats and manipulation. I'll leave you, I'll hurt myself, I'll tell everybody what you did. Now, if you've been with somebody who does this kind of thing, makes threats, you probably once, reacted to it, then you stopped taking it seriously, then you kind of shut down to the person. Threats are very destructive to relationships.
My goodness. That's the the crappy fairy child. What is it? My crappy fairy childhood. Fairy crappy childhood. Crappy childhood fairy. There it is. And that word I struggled with is biophotonic. I knew I had to get it or it was going to bother me. Biophotonic. I'm back in the game now. We got callers on the line. Tonight's topic is deep. Sister in the chat, Mimi from where's Mimi from? Jacksonville. She basically asked, what is the topic? And I said, basically the question is, are we so toxic, traumatized, wounded, whatever, that some women would take shame-based correction and or instruction from a man who is an adroit provider and protector? Would you be willing, and a lot of women have done this, but she clearly spoke of this as if this was the remedy for all that ails us. She said men are soft because we've lost the ability or forgotten how to shame-based correct women. And then the question becomes, are there women out there that don't mind being corrected with a sprinkle, salt-based touch of shame-based correction if that man is a provider and a protector? I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. We got callers on the line. I want to get everybody in. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it. We got JW, South Central Los Angeles. JW back in the building. Jay, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
I'm good.
Well,
brother.
you know what? Like I had mentioned in the past about society and how we are dictated by society. That particular woman, she reminds me of the movie Color Purple and the patriarchy of, men being abusive or whatever. But some women will, there's layers to it. Some women will tolerate various different circumstances just for survival. I remember calling in about a year ago. I said everybody getting married for every reason but the right reason. But some people want to leave home, early because of their childhood trauma as teenagers or whatever, and they get married at the early age instead of love or, with their perfect soulmate or however you want to phrase it. So that their motives or intention is not correct or, you follow the point. And so there's layers to it. Yeah, some women will tolerate that. But the bottom line is this, having that mentality, this lets you know how society has really brainwashed us. That's my personal opinion. I think we've been conditioned and we accept what the European perspective or since we've been indoctrinated in American culture, we use our judgment or base our thoughts based on what society has dictated to us. We're not even using our own true mind or thoughts or feelings or all the above because we don't even know our own culture and how we would normally respond to certain situations in terms of societal as a group of all African-American people instead of being indoctrinated into this white open-air prison. So I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want you to play the music, but I would love to engage in more in-depth conversation. But I think you got the basic point.
Man, I appreciate you, J-Dub. J-W in the building. South Central Los Angeles in the house. The first call in the building. You already know what it is. J-Dub is our guy. All you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580 to join the discussion. He brought up some good points. He's talking about societal conditioning. We're talking about operant conditioning, B.F. Skinner, look it up. Masculine energy as feminine fuel. Get thee behind me, woman. Can proper masculine leadership teach a woman self-respect? Is that a man's job? To teach a woman self-respect? 1-800-920-1580. Is fear of equality the result of misguided dominion over self? Relationships as shame-based performance improvement plans. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Are you guys even hip to Lilith? When we come forward, we're going to talk more about it. We got more callers on the line. I want to get everybody in. Don't forget, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah.
We're
California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Might be smoking on something loud. Head to the clouds. I ain't been stepping out. Tired of sticking out in the crowd. This world is changing right in front of me. Gray hairs, I'm aging quicker than I thought I did. Straight up, 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 straight up.
These flows teach egos to freeze and then recede. I'm C4 beneath your Jeep. The second you turn that keyhole, and heat blows. Your weak flows right out the water. The father, boy, I work smarter and harder. My style got a restraining order. Don't bother, I charter unseen territories in order to push it farther than you that ever thought. I caught a lot of murder charges, turn artists to martyrs. When I rock, that turns to goddess. Fiends turn to kings, dreams turn to things tangible. My hands are full with grants I pull from stanzas. No, I can't go slow. I'm Sandra Bull. Either proceed with speed or don't breathe. Snow Creed, a color that won't heed to the warning. The planet will shake when I'm performing. Tectonic plates from a place with text on their waist. So stay safe or get left with chest on your faces. Death waits for your last breath. I'ma pass the test. Yes, I'm a master chef. Wanna taste and pay for it. They claim they're real, but they're seldom straightforward. The pain I feel on my frame gets transmuted to a dangerous flame. I spit fire at the devil while the angels sing. The flow changed, but remains the same. I'm plain Jane, not a chain on my neck, but shine like baguettes. Ashamed not to flex to rhyme like the rest. My mind's quite depressed if I don't write these. I'm Spike Lee at the audio. Back in my barrio. Parties got shot up, so I built up on my cardio. Dodge shells, collect coins like a Mario. But this is not a game, an experience. I'm serious.
I hear a bunch of people talking about masculine and feminine energy, and most people have no clue what they're talking about. First and foremost, masculine and feminine energy do not attract each other. The definition of attract means to pull towards it. Masculine energy does not pull energy towards it. Masculine energy pursues. Masculine energy is based on work ethic, willpower, and action. Feminine energy is not based on action. Feminine energy is based on attraction, which means to draw energy towards it. So all things that draw energy towards it, your attention, your desire, is feminine in nature. Money, cars, clothes, jewelry are all feminine in nature. If you are attracted to a man, it is not the masculine energy that you're attracted to. It is the feminine energy that he has acquired that is drawing your attention towards him.
Oh, no. I mean, there were bits and pieces in there that I could tolerate. To say that masculine energy chases is basically saying men are born to be anxious, preoccupied. I'm just going to keep chasing until I catch one. No. Sorry. Like, come on. Like, I hear her, but it's like you're trying to make these complex ideas. And really, the masculine feminine thing, that is metaphysical, right? That's yin and yang, right? That's light and dark. That's, you get what I'm saying? And many people don't understand the metaphysical part of it, right? Masculine energy mirrors feminine energy, and feminine energy mirrors masculine energy. And both men and women have yin and yang within them. So the part that I kind of agreed with, which was kind of funny, she was like, because even in West African belief, right, Ifa, the woman or the female deities represent sweetness and wealth and money. The term for money is a feminine deity called Age. And when you see the cowrie shells, that used to be money, and that's Age. So that piece of what she was saying was correct. And in terms of the woman is attracted to what the man has accumulated. Money is seen as feminine in the Ifa tradition, right? If you mistreat women, you're mistreating your money. You're not going to get any money. You're going to ruin your financial opportunities because the deity of money is a woman called Age. Do you see? Her father, right? Or not necessarily her father. Let's go with Yemeya. And most people have heard of Yemeya. That is the mermaid, the sister, the water, the mothers of the water, right? Her father is Olukun. Yemeya represents the part of the ocean that the sun can reach and illuminate. Her father is at the bottom of the ocean. What does water represent? Consciousness. So he is the subconscious. So, and I'm giving you all of this context just to say that piece that she said about women being attracted to the things that you have accumulated. Well, let's peel it back even further. Do women even like men? Unless they are adorned in the things that the femininity or that the feminine brings. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. We got John, Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Do you mind if I choose violence, or do I need to be balanced at this conversation?
Just long as you don't cuss, you got the right to be violent.
Okay. Greetings and blessings all. Got to get that out of the way because I want the blessings to flow from the words that I'm going to speak. First and foremost, in most cases, when you're expecting someone to submit, 9 times out of 10, that happens in a bedroom.
Wow. Here we go.
And if you're playing on that side of the game, you're playing a very dangerous game.
Keep going.
The point of the submission is if you're wanting to be quote unquote shamed, it happens here too. Men who can't get it up get shamed all the time.
Uh-oh.
Men who doesn't last as long as they need to, they get shamed all the time. If you're expecting to be as sexy naked, that means you got to work out more, and now it's a performative measure before I even get into the bed. But still, for me, as the human being, the male who has to provide for you, whatever that is, even after the fact, don't you have to submit to get it?
Come on. Come on.
And I'm not saying that women have to be in this position, nor do men. Because if you're looking at it in today's society, the games of the rules have changed. Bring in passport bros, bring in people who are MGTOW, change men going their own way. The red pill, which again, I see the light, but it's still in darkness, so why am I looking at this the way that I'm looking at it? But ma'am, didn't you start all of this with feminism? Didn't you start this with equality? Didn't you start this with all of this stuff that you even changed the game yourself? Or why in the world would 80% of the divorces that take place is in your hands? Let's not talk about the black community. Let's not talk about the educated black community.
Keep
the
going.
numbers are worse.
Keep going. You got the floor. I'm intrigued. Do you feel like maybe you have more power when your proverbial ish is together in this society? Do you feel like your word is respected more when you are?
The answer to these questions is hell no. Because why am I still performing to a measure that don't measure me?
Come explain. Give me more. Why?
Due to the fact that I got to go through this whole checklist to be something that somebody says I am, when I don't even get to say who I am first.
Have you ever been told who you are by your significant other, and they're speaking from a positionality of certainty as if they know you better than you and you were born as you? Keep going.
Well, the whole point is, and I'm going to try and draw it because I want to hear other people's perspective on it. Ma'am, if you really wanted the shame, you stay in the place where somebody is protecting you and keeping you anyway. That means you would actually choose somebody who's best for you. Not someone you feel looks good, has all the checklists, does what you want to do, because even that man you would have in your possession, you would disrespect.
I hear this a lot from a lot of men who say, and I'm just interested because, you know, relationship is a mirror, but I hear a lot of men say, I did this, I took care of this, this was handled, that was handled, and I was still dissed, right? Why is that the case when that happens? Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. When we come forward, I'm going to wrap this up with my good friend, Pastor John.
Yeah, be smoking on something loud. Head to the clouds. I ain't been stepping out. Tired of sticking out in the crowd. This world is changing right in front of me. Gray hairs, I'm aging quicker than I thought I'd be. I'm that bass in your trunk, the bullet that missed Trump, the gunna jam, cause it's